So you get three types of main barbecue, right?
There we go.
But there's really only one,
Right.
I guess, from what it is. So you got what? Kansas City. You got what? What's the other? You got Texas and Carolina. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I mean, barbecue's regional, right? It's a regional.
St. Louis. Yeah.
It's a regional item. If you when we did live in Charlotte area, the Eastern Carolina, so in between the Carolinas and South, there was a lot of pig, it was a lot of whole hog, it was a lot of pulled pork.
It's like what's indigenous to that area.
The Skyline Inn
style of barbecue. What they're cooking.
Yeah.
Right.
Like Texas, you got a lot of beef ribs.
Yeah.
Not anywhere else does that.
But what about the style and the preparation? Not so
Yeah.
much what the meat is, but I know that does play into it, obviously. But what about the sauces, the technique?
Yeah.
The
Everybody's
offset?
got ribs, some kind of ribs, right? You
Right.
can prepare ribs pretty much different ways.
And again, it goes back to regional. That area is more direct heat. It's a direct heat, either on the ribs or the pigs or the shoulders or whatever they're doing. It's definitely direct heat. Look at Kansas City and all that. And look, I'm no barbecue connoisseur. I'm not.
Right.
I found what I liked and saw with the ability to see, what was going on and how it would operate from an operation standpoint, right? So I can walk in your restaurant and see the points of your restaurant and what's going on. I have 20 years of that. Right. So I saw it from an operational standpoint. It made sense. It's low front of house overhead. It worked during COVID. The go is as good as it is, as better than anything else. As whole meats, it doesn't die if it's whole. So it travels well, the models for catering and all that. So I just looked at it from a business standpoint and saw it as a great niche, as a great operation.
Right.
Yeah.
While I was visiting these places in Texas, and then you try and you're like, oh, okay, now I get it.
Texas is always king.
Exactly.
They say it all the time, and I think it's true.
And you go to Kansas City and places like that. It's it's good barbecue.
No, there's a great barbecue anywhere.
Right.
I mean, you can go any region and find barbecue. You can go to New York City and find barbecue. The thing that I think Texas is different about is the simplicity of what they do and what they use. It's very specific in what they're using.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, with his, with what he's doing, there's nobody else around doing this. They're not doing it to this effect and this, this process, this.
Well, that was going to ask, what is the majority of the barbecue you eat in Mississippi?
Well, most of it's like,
I mean, it's good barbecue.
Yeah.
What would you consider Texas?
It's not. It's not cooked on a stick burner's offset.
Right.
We're all wood, no gas barbecue.
Right.
Okay.
So 100% wood. There's no gas that touches our barbecue at any point. And what that does, it layers a level of smoke on the barbecue that gives it that black barkiness to it, right? Because you're not going to get it. You're getting that from the carcins that burns off of the wood, right? The smoke, essentially. So that flavor is penetrating into the meat. The smokers that a lot of these barbecue places are using, they're Southern Prides, they're Old Hickories. They're great smokers. They can turn and burn all day long. The famous barbecue restaurant up the road using J.R. Oiler's probably the 1970s. Was designed and built out of Texas. So it's an all wood barbecue as well. It's just a rotisserie.
Right.
Okay. That it puts smoke on it at a different rate. We work an offset where it actually pulls smoke through it. So it works like a